Welcome to a journey of silent creation. We begin with the foundation of our masterpiece, the Eheim Clearscape, where every seam reflects absolute clarity and precision. The tools of the craft are prepared. Every placement is intentional, every sound a prelude to the artistry that will soon unfold within this empty glass vessel. Feel the ancient texture of the earth. We start by connecting with our raw materials, choosing stones that carry the weight of time and natural history. The wood tells a story of flow and endurance. By touching these materials, we begin to understand how they will harmonize to create a living, breathing landscape. This project is titled The Silent Valley. It is an exploration of depth, shadows, and the serene beauty found in the most remote corners of the world. A canvas of 120 centimeters in length. This volume provides the space necessary to build a world that feels vast and truly immersive. The light brings life. As the LEDs shine, they reveal the potential of the space, cutting through the shadows to define the boundaries of our new ecosystem. Preparation is complete. The stage is set for the skeleton of the valley to rise, stone by stone and branch by branch, in perfect natural harmony. We begin with the power sand foundation. The sound of pebbles hitting the glass is the first beat in the rhythm of this complex biological build. This layer is the lifeblood of our plants, providing the essential nutrients that will eventually support a lush and vibrant carpet of green across the valley. Using a brush, we sculpt the land. Creating a dramatic slope toward the rear is essential for establishing a sense of deep, receding perspective within the tank. The topography is now set. This elevation change will trick the eye, making the 50-centimeter depth appear much greater, like a path leading into the distance. The first stone is the anchor. It must feel stable and ancient, as if it has been rooted in this very spot for thousands of years already. Rotation is key. We look for the lines of the stone, ensuring the grain flows in a single direction to mimic the natural forces of mountain erosion. Supporting stones add stability both physically and visually. They bridge the gap between the massive central pieces and the soft ground of the valley floor below. We create crevices and shadows. These dark spaces are just as important as the stones themselves, providing contrast and a place for the eye to rest. Nature is never perfect. By breaking larger stones into smaller shards, we create the raw materials needed to detail the base of our mountain range authentically. The fragments are scattered with intention. This simulates the natural scree found at the foot of a cliff, blurring the line between the stone and soil. Precision in the details makes the scene believable. These tiny additions hide the artificial seams and make the entire structure appear as one unified geological formation. From this low perspective, the stones transform into mountains. The sense of scale is established, creating a dramatic landscape that commands attention and inspires awe. A path of light sand is added. This creates a focal point that draws the viewer's eye through the valley and toward the back of the tank. Cleanliness is vital in aquascaping. By refining the edges, we maintain the professional quality of the build while keeping the natural aesthetic intact and focused. The stone skeleton is now complete. We have followed the golden ratio, placing the primary weight to one side to create a balanced, dynamic visual energy. Now we introduce the wood. These branches will act as tree roots, searching for water and nutrients amidst the cold, hard surfaces of the valley stones. To ensure the composition remains stable, we use specialized glue at the contact points. This bond must be strong enough to withstand the buoyancy of water. The wood dust reacts with the glue, creating an instant rock-hard bond. This technique also hides the glue, making the wood look like it grew there. We add layers of wood to create flow. The arching branches simulate the natural struggle of life, reaching upward toward the light in a graceful, winding arc. Every gap is a chance for detail. We use small pieces of filter wool or tissue soaked in glue to fill the largest voids between materials. Once the bond is set, we clean the surface. Maintaining the integrity of the textures ensures that the final result looks like a pure slice of nature. Detailing is an act of patience. By placing these tiny pebbles, we create the illusion of gravel caught in the roots of a tree over many years. The connection is seamless. The hard, angular stones and the soft, organic wood now exist as a single entity, ready to be brought to life with plants. Notice how the shadows work. The wood creates layers of depth, making the viewer feel as though they are looking into a thick, overgrown forest edge. Water reveals the true colors of the materials. The dark wood becomes rich, and the stone textures sharpen, giving us a preview of the final submerged look. One last piece for the foreground. This small addition completes the framing, pushing the rest of the landscape further back and enhancing the three-dimensional effect. The hardscape is finished. This is the skeleton of our silent valley, a structural masterpiece that serves as the perfect foundation for the greenery to come. Observe the play of light and shadow. In this quiet moment, we can see the strength and beauty of the raw materials before they are covered. We must keep the environment moist. As we transition to the planting stage, humidity is our best friend to keep the delicate aquatic plants from drying. Freshness is key. These tissue culture plants are free from pests and algae, providing the cleanest start possible for our new underwater garden in the valley. Preparation begins with pruning. Trimming the roots encourages new, healthy growth once the plants are placed in the substrate, ensuring they take hold quickly. We plant in a steady rhythm. Each bunch is placed with precision, spaced out to allow room for the carpet to spread and fill the gaps. This foreground carpet will eventually become a smooth, rolling meadow. It is a slow process, but patience now will lead to a lush result later. Moss adds the touch of time. By breaking it into small pieces, we can place it into the smallest crevices to simulate natural growth on stones. Gently press the moss into place. It doesn't need much to take hold, just a stable surface and enough moisture to survive the initial planting phase. Taxiphyllum, or Java moss, is a classic choice. It is hardy and will soon drape over the wood like a green velvet shroud in our valley. Anubias pinto provides a beautiful contrast with its white variegated leaves. We tuck it into the midground where it will catch the light and the eye. Ferns belong in the shadows. Placing them in the darker corners of the hardscape adds to the realism of a damp, shaded forest stream environment. Now we move to the background. These tall stem plants will grow rapidly, creating a dense wall of foliage that frames the entire central composition beautifully. A splash of red adds depth and variety. These plants will serve as a vibrant backdrop, making the green foreground and dark stones pop with color. Constant misting is crucial. We must keep the leaves hydrated as we work, ensuring that each plant remains healthy throughout the long hours of the build. Refining the soil after planting ensures the landscape remains clean. It is this attention to detail that separates a good scape from a true masterpiece. The vision is becoming a reality. The contrast between the living green and the static gray stone creates a powerful natural energy within the glass box. Bucephalandra is the jewel of the midground. Its iridescent leaves shimmer under the light, adding a level of sophisticated detail that draws the viewer closer. The planting is nearly complete. The final stems are in place, ready to reach for the surface and complete the lush backdrop of our silent valley. A multi-layered painting of life. This rich tapestry of flora is now ready to be submerged, beginning its journey as a fully functional aquatic ecosystem. Protect the landscape. We use a cover to break the force of the water, ensuring our carefully placed sand and plants are not disturbed during filling. The first drops of water. This is the moment the tank truly begins to live, as the dry materials are finally embraced by their natural element. As the water rises, the valley is transformed. The colors deepen, the moss begins to sway, and the entire scene takes on a magical, ethereal quality. Silver pearls of air. These bubbles are a temporary reminder of the transition from air to water, soon to be replaced by the breath of plants. With the tank full, we reveal the valley. The water is clear, the plants are secure, and the composition remains exactly as we envisioned it during design. Minimalist hardware for a minimalist look. Glass lily pipes ensure that the focus remains on the nature inside, not the equipment on the outside. The flow begins. A gentle surface vortex ensures clear water and proper gas exchange, essential for the health of both the plants and the future inhabitants. Carbon dioxide is the fuel for growth. These fine bubbles will be absorbed by the plants, allowing them to photosynthesize and thrive in their new home. Life is finally introduced. After the water has stabilized, we bring in the residents who will call this silent green valley their permanent home. The first explorers. Watch as they dive into the moss and weave through the wood, instantly adding a sense of movement and vitality to the scene. The valley is now alive. The schooling behavior of the fish adds a dynamic layer to the static beauty of the stone and wood composition. 3 months have passed. Time has matured the silent valley, turning our initial planting into a dense, wild, and incredibly beautiful underwater jungle. Look closely at the leaves. This is pearling. The plants are exhaling pure oxygen, a sign of a perfectly balanced and healthy aquatic ecosystem. Like rising diamonds, these bubbles represent the success of our build. The plants are thriving, providing life-sustaining oxygen for everything within this glass world. Every inhabitant plays a role. The shrimp act as the valley's caretakers, keeping the moss clean and the ecosystem in a state of constant balance. In the darkness of the room, the silent valley shines. It is a portal to another world, a peaceful sanctuary that brings nature's beauty into the home. The shadows have deepened with growth, creating a sense of mystery and age. It is hard to believe this entire world was built by hand. The gentle movement of the water is the heartbeat of the valley. It is a constant, soothing rhythm that brings peace to anyone who watches it. From the smallest leaf to the grandest mountain, everything is connected. This is the art of aquascaping, where we recreate the soul of the wilderness. Thank you for joining us in the creation of the Silent Valley. May your own journey into nature be just as peaceful and rewarding as this. Brought to you by the Biotope Vault. Join us next time as we explore the hidden beauty of the natural world, one tank at a time.